Hey, I'm Nate Flax.
I'm Noah Longworth McGuire.
And this is Talking Lion.
Talking Lion is a podcast focused on artist-to-artist conversation.
We're primarily artists, a duo called Sleeping Lion, but we've been lucky enough to write, produce, and hang out with so many incredible rising artists since we started our project.
Whether it's at sessions or parties or over cups of coffee, we've talked with our creative friends about everything. Music, life, love, and all the subtle complexities that come with being in the middle of a journey.
Talking Lion is about hitting record on these conversations and sharing them with you. There's no real structure, nothing really prepared, just friends talking about life and what it's been like and where it's going.
We now have a Patreon for fans of our show to help keep this going. Subscribers will become a part of the show in various ways, from providing questions to our guests, to getting a shout out on the show, to actually being on the show to chat with us. We'll even send you a mug.
So check out our Patreon at patreon.com/talkinglion.
We recorded this episode with Lizzy McAlpine.
We first connected with Lizzy on Instagram after she posted one of our songs. We later discovered that we had many mutual friends, both through Berklee and the LA community.
Some context for this interview. We recorded this with Lizzy remotely, and it was the first time we had had a chance to all talk together. She had just released her single, Means Something, and was preparing to release her following single, Pancakes for Dinner, which came out on June 1st.
Lizzy McAlpine is an inspiringly great songwriter, and her songs always manage to hit home and connect through her heartfelt and detailed lyricism. So,
without further ado,
I'm Lizzy McAlpine, and this is Talking Lion.
well, hey.
Hello.
This is interesting because and it was occurring to me as we were like preparing this, but we haven't actually like met
Yeah,
before,
no,
have we?
Not. No, I don't think so.
I was like trying to go back through the chat to like see how we like first like interacted, or somebody had like sent me something, but I think you just like posted Rug on.
Yeah, I did, because I mean, I visited Berklee in like, I don't remember what year, but I was like about to graduate high school and was like looking at colleges, and I visited, and we went to like this performance, and you guys were performing.
Oh, shit.
Oh, was it one of those BPC things?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
I was in the BBC.
Oh God,
Was it the one where
was
Noah
it the one
lost
where
his
my
shit?
my computer died on stage and I had to plug my guitar?
I don't think so.
into
I don't remember.
Okay, that's good, because we did two of them.
We did two of them. One of them
One
was
of them
like
was
flawless,
catastrophic.
and one of them was
I
catastrophic.
think
yeah,
we got the good one, I think.
cool.
That's good.
Cool.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Though I'd like to think that we like covered the catastrophic one good enough so that nobody knew. You know, maybe
Right.
you saw the catastrophic
Someone
one.
actually came up
Maybe.
to me in the Someone in the CAF came up to me last year at Berklee and said, "Hey man, like I was touring Berklee and saw you play at the BPC when your laptop crapped out and you just plugged in the guitar to the BPC like PA system." And it really like he was very genuine. Like, yeah, it was really cool to see you just like keep going when things went wrong. And
God.
like, you know, maybe want to come to the school more. I'm
Wow.
like, well, if that ain't something, like if that isn't the validation I needed in this life, I don't know what
Love
is.
that.
Well, what was interesting though is that like when you posted that, I was like, oh cool, like thank you so much for posting like our song, and also like not just like any song, but like one of our first songs ever.
Yeah.
And so I went and I listened to your stuff, and I was absolutely floored. Like your music is incredible. We're like
you.
recovering folk people. Like we were both in folk bands. We started in a folk band
Wow.
together, so there's like a spot in our heart
Yeah.
for that. But also you kind of became like, you know, when you like learn a word and then like the word just keeps showing up. That was kind of like you, like the moment that you kind of entered like the world for me, all of a sudden like everybody I knew started talking about you.
Yeah.
Like it was and maybe it was just like coincidental or whatever, but like I feel like 2 days or 3 days after you posted, I was like out, and like my friend Dylan was talking about like working on stuff
Yeah.
with you, and like
Oh my
you know, like I
God.
just saw you popping up like on all my friends' Instagrams and everything.
That's
so
crazy.
it was just kind of cool how that all
Yeah.
kind of like came to be. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Philadelphia, right outside of the city.
Are you from Philly?
Yeah. Yep.
Where outside of the city?
I live in Wynwood, which is like no one knows, but like I went to Lower Merion High School, which is where
cool.
Kobe went.
What was it like growing up in Philadelphia?
It was nice. I mean, we're in the suburbs, so it's not like the city, but it was nice.
I'm from the suburbs outside New York,
Gosh, yeah.
so sort of similar idea
Yeah.
of like people are like, oh, what's it like in the city? I'm like, I spent time there,
Yeah.
but it wasn't my day to day
Right.
kind of stuff. Were you very musical as a kid? Like, what were you into growing up?
Yeah, I was actually just watching old videos of me like last night, and I just was singing all the time. I just sang literally all the time. And I would sit at the piano and just like just press keys. I didn't know what I was doing and would like sing along. I don't know. I've been.
Would you like quote unquote like write stuff?
I don't think so. I started writing seriously in 6th grade, but before that it was kind of just playing music for fun. I wasn't like actually writing stuff.
What kind of like inspired you to first write? Because I know that's always such an interesting, you're listening to music your whole life, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can also make it.
Right.
Like,
I think, I don't know. I mean, the first song I wrote was obviously about a boy because I was in 6th grade.
I mean, I think we're, you write what you know.
Right. I think honestly what inspired me was listening to I was obsessed with Tori Kelly, and I still am because she's incredible. But she was her first EP was wow, I want to do that. So that's why I started writing songs.
That's awesome. And did you play shows while you were growing up? Any of the Philly open mic stuff or suburban open mic stuff?
Honestly, no. I haven't performed in Philly ever. Honestly, it was just really weird because I live here. But but I don't know. I mean, I was in middle school. I was in a rock band.
Ooh,
and I played
nice.
keys, and then I sang the next year. That was the only kind of performing that I really did as I was beginning to write songs.
What was the rock band called? Because I love high school rock band names.
I don't think we had a name. And if we did, I don't remember it.
Lizzy and the McAlpines?
Lizzy and the Untitled.
Yes.
Getting a reunion, getting the band back together. When did you enter Berklee? I'm trying to figure out if we were there at the same time.
I started, so I'm a junior now. I just finished sophomore year.
Okay.
So it might have been 2018.
Okay.
Wow. I left in 2017.
Nice. So we never crossed paths.
And
I graduated in 2018, so there might have been some overlap. But I kept very much. I had 3 friends my last semester of college. I didn't really go on campus if I didn't have to.
Were you a songwriting major at Berklee?
Yeah.
Or are you? Yeah.
Yes.
How is it going there, by the way? Is it
I mean,
online?
It's interesting. I just finished. Finals week was last week, but it was kind of, I don't know. We switched to online after everything happened, and to me, it feels weird to do music school online, and especially Berklee because you aren't just paying for your classes. You're paying to use the recording studios and use the practice rooms and stuff like that. And now we can't. And also just some of the teachers don't know how to work anything. And the turnover for the classes was just really weird sometimes. But
well, my joke is that we spent thousands of dollars to meet each other. So much of Berklee too is just what happens in between classes and just that whole sort of environment. So much of I feel our Berklee experience was just wandering around and seeing who was up to what and kind of stumbling into things,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's super weird. But wait, so did you do study songwriting there?
Yeah, I'm not technically a songwriting major yet. I'm CWP right now.
Oh, cool.
But I took all songwriting classes last semester, and I'm taking them again next semester if I even go back, which is up in the air right now.
It's all crazy. We were talking, we were just talking about doing live shows and stuff, and then there's a little thing in the back of my head when do you guys think you're doing live again?
Yeah.
It's all crazy. Yeah. And it would be so weird to be in school.
Yeah, it was graduation last week, wasn't it? With all
the virtual John Legend.
The thing I will say, that must be nice about online graduation is it's way easier to tune out. When you're stuck in that auditorium for hours on end, just listening to people's names. Yep. I fell asleep at Adam's graduation. I've fallen asleep at 2 graduations actually that I've gone to because it's just so boring. At least if you're online, you could Command T and watch a YouTube video.
Right.
I don't necessarily envy anybody trying to do normal stuff in all of this, but
oh my God.
But back when things were normal, what would you say your review of Berklee, the Berklee experience, has been thus far?
Yeah, what was your highlights in your time back in the before times?
Honestly, the highlights are probably just meeting people. The amount of connections that I made. I almost didn't go to Berklee because I visited and I was it's not for me. And then
you saw 2 guys on stage. You were no way, they're terrible.
Jeez.
I don't want to be at the same
Definitely
location
wasn't
as
that,
them.
But I visited and I was I don't know, it's cool, but it's I no. And then I applied to all schools for acting. I was gonna be an actor. I was really going for it. And then I got into Berklee first, and I was just like, okay, might as well. So then I decided to go. And honestly, I mean, the classes are cool. It's nice to not have to take like a math and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the experience that I got, I definitely just meeting people. It's the most important part of like going to music school, I think, making the connections and stuff.
Well, and that's the thing is like I feel like Berklee is a pretty like, you know, average, normal music school, but an above average, exceptional networking experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I just feel like looking back, like I learned theory, like I got that checked
Right.
off. Like I understand how a compressor works, like check.
Yeah.
But, you know, I also have met some of the most incredible people in my life that I still obviously like work with and who just continue to like be inspiring. So I feel like they filter out good people, and that kind of like is what brings a lot of the coolness to it.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about the acting stuff now. Like, is that something that you're gonna like sort of parallel pursue? We both have like Noah was really into video games. I was really into film when I got to Berklee. I wanted to do like sound design, like footsteps and backgrounds and all that. Both recovered theater kids.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, are you a theater person?
Yeah. I was gonna do like stage acting.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I miss the theater every day.
Me
Every time I watch
too.
I really do. I didn't do it at Berklee because I was too intimidated by like all the like that whole side of things. But now that I'm, especially being in LA, there's definitely a part of me that's like, what if I just, I mean, obviously this is pre-corona, but there's definitely a part of me that was just like, what if I just go do a community theater production of something just to get it out of my system?
I want you to be Oliver. I want you to be everybody else is at the actual age, like they're all 12, but Noah's a 24-year-old Oliver.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely was a theater kid. I acted in every single show that we did in my high school. I was like in it.
What musicals were you in? Do you have a favorite musical? My mom's a theater teacher, by the way, so
God,
like
wow.
I grew up like steeped in that shit.
I've only actually been in 2 musicals, and I did mostly like straight acting, just like plays and stuff. But I was in Hairspray. I was Penny, which was really fun.
Nice.
That was definitely my favorite musical I've ever been in. It was so much fun.
Amanda Bynes' character in the movie? Okay, yeah.
What's your favorite straight play you've been in?
We did this play called Eurydice by Sarah Rule, and
cool.
it is just gorgeous. It's just so beautiful.
What's your favorite musical?
That's a hard question, but
if you had to pick,
I really love Dogfight, and I really love Next to Normal is good.
Oh yeah,
Next to Normal is fantastic.
I mean, this is kind of basic, but like the last 5 years, Jason,
not basic at all. Love it. Yeah,
Jason Robert Brown, any of his work, like Parade. Oh my God, so good.
Well, I was gonna say, like your lyric writing in your songs does have like, I mean, like folk, you know, kind of like lets us all kind of get away with it, but it's like there is a Broadway sensibility to how much information you give in your lyrics, which I appreciate a lot.
I've heard that many times, that all my songs sound like musical theater songs.
Yeah.
I was gonna
blessing and a curse.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna like lead up to Jason Robert Brown. Yeah, no. Listen. Blessing and a curse. I feel like left to our own devices, we wind up accidentally writing musical theater numbers anyway. So much of our dynamic is like I accidentally write a ballad and then Noah turns it into a pop song.
Right. Nice.
But yeah, I mean, Jason Robert Brown's insane. Like
so incredible.
Huge fan of the last 5 years. Just some of the like, I mean, Shiksa Goddess just
oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. Just so this has been the Jason Robert Brown appreciation hour. We're gonna spend the next hour talking about Jason Robert Brown in the last 5 years. No, but we've been listening to music for a minute. Really big fans of your writing and your work, and I just want to like go through some of the songs and just sort of pick your brain about how they kind of came into existence.
Yeah.
Starting with Apple Pie. What's the story behind Apple Pie?
So Apple Pie, I wrote that last August, right after I got my wisdom teeth out. That was like
I still got to do that. I was going to do that and then Corona hit and that, you know. So I'm still unwise or still have wisdom. I don't know what the...
Got too much wisdom.
Right.
Yeah. It hurts my face. It hurts my head.
Yeah, but I wrote the song right after I got my wisdom teeth out, and I was in a relationship at the time, and I kind of wrote it about that, like feeling safe in a relationship. And also, like, my family has moved a lot, and it was also kind of about that, and like never really feeling like I've had a home. I mean, this is my home, but like I only lived here 6 months before I
Oh wow.
went to college. So it's like my home, but like it's also not, you know? And so I kind of wrote Apple Pie about that and kind of not, and like realizing that you don't actually need a physical like house to feel at home. You know, it can be like with
what I
people.
love about it is that it is a sweet song, and yet like it feels like an earned sweet song.
Yeah.
Like there are happy songs, and then they're like, oh, I've gone through stuff to be able to write a happy song,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like what I think resonates the most about like that song. Was there a line that kind of like unlocked that song for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the chorus line, the like, me oh my, I found you under an April sky, and you feel like city life, apple pie baked just right. But me oh my, I found you under an April sky, and you feel like city life, apple pie baked just right. Getting that was like, okay, cool. Like the song is finished basically. Like that's all it really needed.
And it's got like that folky, that sort of like lightheartedness to it. But again, it like does feel earned, which is cool. Were there artists that sort of influenced your sound, or like people that you kind of that inspired you to like kind of go down that folk route?
Yeah, I was a huge fan of Dodie for like a really long time, and now we like are friends kind of, and it's crazy.
I was gonna ask about that later, but like I saw you guys did like a duet.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge Dodie fan, like, and so when I saw that, I'm like, holy shit,
yeah, it was insane.
She's incredible. She's
so
like absolutely next level.
Yep.
And just also like not only are her songs incredible, but like her videos make me cry.
Yeah,
just like
she's
regular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
So I posted a cover of an Adam Melcher song.
Oh.
And
We met Adam at Jay's thing.
Oh yeah.
Remember we were all laughing
yeah.
with Carly and all that.
yeah, I've talked.
Good times.
We like talk, but we've never actually met before. He's so cool. But I covered one of his songs, and then he posted it on his story, and then Dodie saw it, and she posted it on her story, and then that kind of like opened up the DMs, and I was in Spain at the time. I studied abroad last semester.
Oh, you're at Valencia?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And she was like, "Oh my God, you go to Berklee?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm coming to London. I have a trip planned in like 2 weeks. Like, do you want to like sing?" And she was like, "Yeah, come over. We can make tea." And so I went over I just literally went over to her apartment, and we had tea and we made cake. And then she was like, "You want to stay for dinner?" And we had spaghetti, and it was so great. It was just like fabulous.
That must have been so surreal. Were you nervous? Like,
oh
what,
my God,
what was
I was so nervous. But she is so down to earth. Like, she's just a person. And it wasn't like, I didn't feel like I was meeting like a celebrity, you know? I felt like I was meeting just like a regular person. She was so cool.
Well, I feel what makes her videos and her music so incredible and also just sort of like inviting is that like you get the sense that it's not like her trying to be authentic.
Right.
It is just her being authentic.
Yeah.
So I imagine there isn't too much of a disconnect between those two. That's such a nice story.
Yeah.
I love
I know.
that.
It was
That's really
really,
sweet.
it was really wholesome.
Oh, well, shout out to Adam and Dodie. That's No, I was listening. It was a very quiet morning today, and nice little cool breeze in LA. And I was listening to the Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that song also hits, especially because I feel like whenever shit has always hit the fan for me, I'd always like visit my grandparents in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So literally just like going to the mountains. How did that song kind of come to be?
I wrote this in Spain, and I had just broken up with my ex. And
The Apple Pie X?
no, yes, the apple pie ex. Sorry. I was just
No, the Blueberry Pie X. The
yeah, we had just broken up, and I had just visited Boston for my fall break, and I had like seen him, and it was not great. And then I came back to Spain, and I wrote this song, and it just felt like it was just really cathartic for me to write this song, because I have my stepdad has a farm in West Virginia, and that's like what I pictured when I wrote the song. And it's just so peaceful up there. And this song kind of was like, I need space. I need to go. I need to think about things. I need to process. And so it was really nice to like write this song and finally be like over the breakup.
Was the cover art from Virginia?
Yeah. Yep.
I love
Taken
that.
from the back
Yeah.
porch.
What I like about the cover art is that there is that like sense that it's sort of lived in as well. Like that, you know, it's all coming from like this real place. Was there a line there too that like sort of opened the song up for you?
Yeah, the last verse is like one of my favorites. It's, I'm headed to the mountains, the only place I feel at peace. I knew you'd come after me, so I threw away your keys. But I know you never go when I say leave.
Oh, I'm headed to the mountains, the only place I feel at peace. And I knew you'd come after me, so I threw away your keys. But I know you never go when I say leave.
Those lines
All
are like
that.
really, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I feel like everybody has had that like sort of safe space to be, and also, you know, B has had that tough breakup where it's like it's not quite like completely shut off, so you do have to like kind of throw away the thing for a second. But no, yeah, that song really hit. And then your newest song, Means Something. I think that's my favorite, which is great because, you know, you want the newest one to always be the, you know, the favorite. I think Means Something just twisted the knife for me. Like that song, because that's the thing is like I feel like we all want to kind of like have these great stories, like these great like love stories or these great whatever. So everything kind of becomes like a sign or a symbol or something. Yeah. These coincidences that will never happen again, and like all that stuff. Yeah, you got that one line about like the zodiac sign. Yeah, you know.
I know your zodiac sign. Me and Leos get along great, and that has to mean something.
And I love that, but I also love that you like you know can twist it too. Like it's got to mean something. I'm still writing songs. Yeah. How did that song come to be?
I wrote this one like not long ago. I wrote it last month, I think, and this originally wasn't going to be the third single. Like I had another song planned, and then I kind of wrote the song and put a demo of it on my Instagram with like a lyric video, and people were like, "Oh my god, like I want this song," and I was like, "Okay," so I made.
I think I might have been one of those people on Instagram. I feel like I feel like you post stuff, and I'll like reply to the message like, "This is so good. What is this?"
Well, thank you, but
of course,
yeah. So I decided to release this one instead. Yeah, honestly, this is just about like. Because I started talking to someone in January and like it was going great, and then all this shit went down, and now we're like not together. I mean, we're like but like we're not like physically in the same place, and it was just kind of like I was just thinking about that. The verse refrain idea is like this happened and like that has to mean something, and then the end is like I refuse to believe that like you not being with me right now means something. So it's like kind of
picking
like,
and choosing your signs from the universe.
Yeah, pretty much.
But for some reason you're not here, and I refuse to believe that means something.
No, I definitely appreciate that. I mean, and I'm not like unique in this, but I feel like I attribute significance to like shit that does not necessarily need it, you know? Which I mean is kind of like a work hazard, you know?
That's kind of the job. Yeah. Like that's like so much of our job is finding meaning in street signs and finding connections between exes and stuff like that. So it's hard when that filters into your actual life when stuff maybe doesn't go your way or stuff gets
or worse, it does.
Worse and
then you're like, what the hell does this mean? How do I write?
How do I write about this?
I can't write a happy song like she can write a happy song. Like that's the difference, you know. Is so I just need it to all, you know, burn down as quick as possible, so I can, you know.
Yeah.
But it's I appreciate your music a lot. I think what's also really cool, and I was looking through it this morning. I get that a lot of it's sort of circumstantial, but you 100% your stuff too. Like I know you have like a producer. I think Philip.
Yeah, Philip.
How did you meet him? Because he seems to be like the sort of recurring producer collaborator.
Yeah, he was introduced to me through a friend. He went to Berklee also. He is graduating though, or he is dropping out or something. He's in LA. He will be in LA like this fall. But yeah, he was introduced by a friend, and I had never heard anything that he had done before. But my friend was like, he's really good, and my friend like has a similar sound as me, so I was like, okay, I'll trust it. And then the first song we did together was Apple Pie, and I went to Boston over the last summer, and we tracked 5 songs. It was going to be an EP, but then we scrapped 4 of them and have turned it into an album. But we worked on Apple Pie first, and immediately there was just like a connection. Like we just knew what the other person was thinking, and it was just we were on the same wavelength, and it was so cool because I thought that I was never going to find a producer that like really understood my sound and like what I wanted to sound like. But
well, and that's especially folk too, is like, you know, because you could find like a great pop producer, a great like electronic producer, whatever, but like to be able to handle some of the more sensitive stuff, like to know what organic and like what like quote unquote sort of like real mistakes or whatever is worth kind of keeping in too. What kind of puts you in the room with the artist, like having a producer who could do that is a shot in the dark. So I was curious about him too, because like all your records sound great.
Yeah,
too.
no, he
like,
is fabulous. He just has taken my music and just made it so much more than I could have ever made it on my own. And it's so cool.
This is the Philip Appreciation Hour. We're gonna the next hour. No, that's awesome. But the other thing I was sort of getting at too is that like you 100% your writing, which is I mean, no, you've been doing more of that lately, like with some of your stuff. But like I feel, especially in LA, that's almost like like unheard of. You know,
when you're doing the co-writing thing, it's a very different vibe to always be like throwing lyrics back and forth to people versus like being on your own and writing in a journal and trying to come up with good stuff.
Do you have like a kind of process? Like, do you sit down and write, or does it just sort of like and mind you, I hate being asked the "how do you write" question. Like, it is the worst question ever, and I'm cringing at myself. But I just mean, you know, short of like, oh, today we're doing a session. Sort of what gets you in kind of like that headspace of writing.
I mean, it's different with co-writing because usually people write like they come up with a concept first. And then they write based on that concept, or like they come up with a title, or they like write the chorus first or whatever. And I can adapt, like I can do that. But when I write on my own, I usually just sit down at the guitar, sometimes the piano, but more recently the guitar. And I come up with a chord progression first, and then I kind of just like let something happen. Like I never know what the concept of my song is going to be before I start writing. More recently, though, I've started to like think of concepts first, but usually it just comes out, and then I'm like, okay,
well, I think what's
cool.
nice about folk stuff too. I mean, obviously, pop is like so like punchline driven, especially now. But what's nice about folk is that you can kind of like get to where you're going. Like the journey is kind of part of it.
Right.
And I love like songs that kind of, I mean, like Gregory Alan Isakov, I think is a great example of this, where it's just like from. Yeah, right. From like start to finish, like the song kind of gets to where it's going, and the lyrics kind of just like one foot in front of the other. I definitely appreciate that. Folk, I feel, is something we're very close to and familiar with, and yet in recent times have been somewhat removed from. You know, like that process and that sort of like, you know, alone in the room with the guitar kind of thing. Are you ready for the question round?
I'm ready.
All right. The first question is, what is your phone background?
My home screen is a picture of my dad when he was like, you can't see it, but he was like my age. And the what's it called?
The other one?
The other one.
The other one
is a picture from West Virginia. It's the room that I was staying in. Yeah.
Is there a significance to having your dad like at your age?
Yeah. Yes. Recently, I mean, like last month, he passed away, which was like,
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, thank you. Yeah, it's been hard, but
was it related to Corona?
No. It was really unexpected, honestly. Yeah, so that's been hard. That's why I have his picture.
I appreciate. I was like, I was curious. And are you doing all right?
Yeah, actually.
With all that,
it's been really nice because I'm like around family, and I'm staying at my parents' place with my sister and stuff. Right. So it's been nice to be around family.
You guys can all be together as opposed to sort of wherever separately y'all would have been. Yeah. Well, our condolences, and hope you're doing all right.
Thank you.
Do you have a non-musical hobby?
Reading. I love reading. Also, like making movies. Not movies, but like editing and like, I don't know. I really like vlogging.
Yeah.
But like editing stuff, you know.
I mean, we got into this because I love editing, like editing audio specifically, but totally get that.
Yeah.
Are there any skills you would like to have?
I really want to be good at like a sport. Honestly, any sport. Just a sport.
Like chess or like
like definitely
Basketball is obviously like the coolest one.
I would love
Right.
to get like great at
Oh
basketball.
my god,
Like, I
that
feel
would be
like that's
so sick.
a fun little
Volleyball.
flex.
It'd be cool to be good at volleyball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I was like good enough at rollerblading to not be like afraid of rollerblading. Like that seems like a fun thing. Like somebody
Yeah.
could do.
Sport though. I guess that's.
I mean, everything's a
It's-
skateboarding.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I think this is like, I don't know how many interviews we've done at this point, but like it's 30 something and nobody said sports. And I love that.
I just want to be able to flex, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's understandable.
It's like not only can I like, do the brain thing, but I can also
Right.
like be.
I can run so
I can
fast.
run so fast. That's how I feel. Honestly, that's how I feel about biking. I'm just like, y'all thought I was just like a songwriter, but I can also like
ride a
bike.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can ride it far too without being tired.
Well, that is a superpower. Most important question of the Talking Lion podcast: would you be a pirate?
Yeah, sure. I think
There we
being a
go.
pirate would be fun.
My thoughts
You
exactly.
could have a parrot.
What would your parrot's name be?
Oh my god, I have no idea. That one I have to think about. That's an important decision.
That is an important decision. You don't want to get stuck with a bad parrot name because
Exactly.
then it learns the name.
Exactly.
And then if it's something really lame, then you have to hear it all the time.
Yep.
I think I'd do like Bruce. Like I want some sort of like
Bruce the parrot.
I want it to sound like an intimidating name.
Right,
My
right.
parrot would be named Jacaranda.
Nice.
It's just it's like
Is Jacaranda a name?
it's a kind of flower, or it's a kind of tree in southern Africa. It reminds me of my childhood.
You've had all this time. Now it's on,
Oh my
on
God.
you. You have Bruce and Jacaranda. What's your parrot?
Oh gosh. I don't know
Lizzy,
what my
now or
parents'
never.
name would be. Maybe like just something really basic, like a basic name.
Like
Like-
Miranda.
Sure, why not?
Is Miranda a basic name?
I don't know.
I feel like
I
that's
feel like that-
actually a complicated.
I guess so. Melissa. I don't know.
Melissa.
I don't know why I'm.
Melissa the parrot.
Oh my
I feel like I'm
god.
offending. I feel like I'm offending.
Yeah,
white
you pretty much
girls everywhere.
alienated all the Mirandas and Melissas that listen
Well,
to the.
if you are a Miranda or Melissa, I would like to personally say I'm sorry. I did not mean to call you basic.
There we go.
But also maybe your parents should have named you something cooler.
No, when this is done, we're gonna teach you how to apologize because that is
I thought that was fine.
Step one, you were good. Step two, you're fine. Step three is not rescind the apology by
the
saying
knife.
you meant what you said.
I meant what I said. I won't apologize.
Step one,
my
recognize what you did wrong. Step two, apologize for it. Step three, twist the knife and backpedal.
That's how I was taught. Next question is, do you have any tattoos?
I do. I have 3. I have one on my shoulder, which is an indigo flower, which is
Ooh.
from my first album that I released in like 2018. I have one. The other 2 are on my arms. My left forearm is a flower. It's a poppy because freshman year I was in a show called Noises Off and my character's name was Poppy.
Oh, I love that.
The other one, it's on my other arm, and it's the rose in the glass case from Beauty and the Beast
Oh, I love
Ooh, that's
that.
great.
because it is the first musical that I ever saw on Broadway, and it is like the reason why I wanted to start acting.
One, what I love is that each one has like the flower theme to it, and that they all have some sort of musical influence between the record and your theater, your time in the theater.
Yeah.
What was the first concert you ever attended?
Oh my God, this is embarrassing. But the first concert that I ever went to was in, I don't remember the year, but I saw Victoria Justice from Victorious.
Ooh.
I know, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty wild.
I feel like you maybe invested in the wrong cast member,
Yeah.
Victorious.
Probably. But I just
They really wanted her to be the one, but
They did.
She certainly got. I was actually I was such a huge Victorious fan when I was like a little bit too old to be a huge Victorious fan, and Ariana Grande was the first person I ever followed on Twitter, like back when she was just like doing the
Nice.
occasional thing on Broadway, and I was just like,
I am like one of her biggest fans. Like I am obsessed with Ariana Grande. And it's really weird because that's like not the type of music that I make at all, but I just love her.
no, she's great.
Well, because she's also a theater kid. Like
Yeah.
you could
Right.
definitely.
You feel that in her. Like every time she's been on SNL, like she kills it.
She's
like she's
so
so funny.
funny.
She's so funny.
Oh my
and
God.
like has like such good acting chops. Like I
Yeah.
think that's the reason I liked her in Victorious, and the reason I like felt such a connection to her even before she like had a career. I was just like, this person's like really loves like acting and music and like the intersection of the two.
But like even like since becoming like an international, like the biggest thing in music period,
Right.
she still like does Disney related stuff.
Yeah,
like,
she did the Disney sing along.
Yeah, like Won't Say I'm in Love. That's my
that was
favorite
great.
Disney
So
song.
good.
Sung by my favorite
my
singer.
God.
Like I was losing my mind. Noah can confirm I was losing my mind.
Yeah. She's incredible.
Love her.
This is the Ariana Grande
This is the
appreciation hour.
appreciation hour. Oh man.
Jokes come in threes, so that's the last one.
That was a good one. That
Well,
was
threes and sevens, so we need four more.
No.
Okay,
That was good.
threes.
That was,
Good.
that
Okay,
was, that was officially, you justified yourself by
Yes.
doing it
awesome.
the third time.
3 times. Yeah. Callback.
It was a
humor.
callback. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my God. Probably a Sarah Bareilles song of some sort. Maybe like,
That tracks.
I don't know, Gravity is a
that's a
classic
good one.
one.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
What are your favorite movie, book, and TV show?
Movie, Coco, all the way.
Ooh.
Coco, I've
we-
seen that movie like 9 times and I can quote it all.
Do you cry every time? Because
Yes.
we've watched it now 3 times,
Yeah.
cried every time,
Yeah.
and I keep thinking that like I'm all cried out from that
Yeah,
movie,
no,
and then it just
That is
Okay, yeah,
so
that-
good. That's like my all-time favorite movie, and Beauty and the Beast, the original one, the animated one. But recently, I just watched 1917, and it
Ooh,
was
we never saw 1917.
mind blowing. Like it was so cool, and I'm doing this weird thing right now where I'm like reading screenplays because I have nothing else to do, and I really
that's-
like film. Like I'm obsessed with it. And I want to write a movie and be in a movie one day, but that's another conversation. But
no. That. Okay, I'm actually gonna turn into the current conversation because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I write scripts like just for fun and like love film. Like we're big film
Yeah.
nerds, so much why I wound up at Berklee was for like the film scoring, sound design
Yeah.
aspect, and then accidentally got into the pop stuff. So.
Right.
Definitely feel the film
yeah,
the film stuff.
yeah. But the screenplay for 1917 was incredible, and then I watched the movie, and it was just gorgeous.
Did you read the screenplay first?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
Oh, it's like the book and then the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if you like this, then you like
You're
the
like that's got to be interesting. Like I would love to actually maybe I'll do that. Read the screenplay
Yeah.
to 1917 before seeing
It
it.
is
Because like
So
Yeah.
cool because there's like not a lot of dialogue in the movie, and it's mostly just like action scenes, and so you like can read what the character is thinking, and so then you like watch the movie and you're like, I know what's happening in their brain right now. It's just so cool to me. Being
is
an
really
actor, also like knowing that is just so cool.
I love reading this screenplays for pilots of TV shows because of just how much like introductory information needs to be there. And of
Yeah.
course, like this thing exists before the actual creation of the show does. So not only does it have to be compelling as words, but also have to like sort of suggest who's going to play these characters and like who these people will end up being, like
Yeah.
those are always really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. What were the other one? Movie book. Right now I'm reading A Study in Scarlet, the first Sherlock Holmes book,
oh nice.
Oh,
which is pretty good. And TV, my favorite TV show of like all time is probably either The Office or New Girl.
Nice.
I was about to say,
Classic comfort food.
I love if you can look it up, the treatment of New Girl is fantastic.
Dang, I will
Just
look
the
that up.
treatment.
Just the treatment.
Interesting.
They describe Jess as somebody who would sing her own theme song.
That's
That is pretty
incredible.
good. I would describe if I were writing the treatment for New Girl, I would describe Jess as a Zoe Deschanel type.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that does it.
Do you have a scar with a story?
Yes, on my foot, I have a scar because when I was like 8, I think, we had this like plastic playhouse in the backyard. And we lived in a gated community, so our neighbors were like really close to us, and they were gardening in their backyard. So they had all their like gardening tools out, and I decided to climb on top of the playhouse for some reason. And then I also decided to jump off the top of the playhouse. And a gardening tool like went into my foot
Ooh.
somehow. And I
That's
I remember
gnarly.
like being carried inside to the kitchen, and my foot was just like, there was blood everywhere.
Oh,
Jesus.
So, yep.
yikes.
Oh, I'll do it. That is a scar and that is a story.
Yeah, that really
That did
fit
not
the bill.
disappoint.
Yeah.
We got all the blood we wanted.
Yeah, no, it was the blood and gore for the podcast.
We demand blood.
The people demand blood. Are you not entertained? What are 3 thoughts you have at this moment?
I don't know. I'm looking out my window, and the pool guys are here because we're getting our pool like fixed. So I'm thinking about that.
Nice.
Honestly, I'm kind of just thinking about this.
No, I feel that's probably the hardest question for people. People are usually just like, I gotta eat. That's like usually what most people's first thought is. So I appreciate that.
Appreciate that
you are present.
Good.
That's a good
Yes.
answer.
You feel present, like even over FaceTime. Like I
Yeah.
feel like we're getting to know you, so that comes with somebody who's in the moment, not like somebody who's thinking about a million other things or like, about lunch.
Right.
I guess we're all broadly kind of thinking about lunch though.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking about it until like just now, and now
lunch.
I can't stop thinking about.
no.
What am I gonna have for lunch? Anyway, what are you most proud of?
Oh my gosh. Probably, I don't know. I'm really proud of my Instagram page. I got on Instagram in like maybe like 2012, and I didn't really start posting videos of me singing until like freshman year of high school. And since then, I've just kind of like built it up, and I feel like it's at a really good place right now. Like, I think I just hit like 35K, which is insane.
Your
to me.
your Instagram's awesome. Well, it's also
yeah.
like your Instagram's awesome, but it also like it was what I was saying at the beginning. It's like I feel like everybody kind of like tends to share your stuff too, so it
Yeah.
winds up on like my radar, and like I see it. Like Ivan,
Yeah.
like
Brass Tracks.
was
Yeah, we're doing a song together.
That's awesome. I'm excited for that. What's that song called?
It's called Marigold.
Cool. Not
Nice.
very excited. Yeah, Ivan is just
The sweetest.
super
Yeah.
super talented with the trumpets and
Yes.
the ones and zeros.
Very true. Lastly, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to seeing my friends again because I'm
big
alone
vibe.
right now in my house. I'm looking forward to playing live again because that is such a cool experience that I like didn't know how much I loved until like I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And releasing this freaking album. I'm so excited.
What's the album called?
It's called Give Me a Minute.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm equally excited. I think
I
that's
am
gonna.
very, very excited. Yeah.
So you're working on it with Philip. Are there any other people that you're also working on it
Yeah,
with?
2 of the songs I'm working with Dylan on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was in LA over winter break and we recorded those 2.
I love Dylan.
Yeah,
He's really
It's
nice.
gonna be like the intro and the outro are both him, and then the middle songs are Philip.
That's awesome. And when Marigold comes out, are you gonna get a marigold tattoo?
I mean, honestly, probably. At the rate that I'm going, yeah, probably.
It fits in the vibe.
Yeah,
I'm with it. Is there anything else you want to shout out before we call it a podcast?
I mean, I have a song coming out on June 1st.
What's that song called?
It's called Pancakes for Dinner.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
I really love that. But it's overall, it's just really nice to like actually meet you,
Yeah.
like after
Yes.
sort of Instagramming,
Right.
like for. So thanks for doing
Yeah,
this.
thank you
And
for
good luck
having me.
with everything.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I wanna eat pancakes for dinner. I wanna get stuck in your head. I wanna watch a TV show together, and when we're under the weather, we can watch it in bed. I wanna go out on the weekends. I wanna dress up just to get undressed. I think that I should probably tell you this in case there is an accident and I never see you again.
We would like to thank Alan C. for supporting Talking Lion on Patreon and Isotope.